Hello, hello. I'm Mr. Monty, and I'm a geometry teacher at Lewis and Clark High School. And this is Lesson 1 of our 2020 series in preparation for the Geometry EOC at the end of May. Before we get started, there's a couple of things that all of our classmates have. We have our EOC notebook, which contains our practice for the EOC test. Remember to maintain this on a daily basis because you will get practice problems for each of these lessons. The second thing is, geometry sometimes can be compared to as a foreign language. After all, remember when you came in here the first day and I told you that the word vertical in this room does not mean up and down, but across? Oh! So, don't forget this little flip folder for our cheat notes, our helper notes, just to maintain all of the little vocabulary and tools. You'll be getting this and maintaining it over the next 4 weeks, those 20 days, to help refresh our memories on what we learned throughout the year. So let's get started with Lesson 1. This represents a dot and a dot with a little line between. We're going to call that segment AB. A ray is a fixed endpoint going off into infinity, and then a line can go to infinity in both directions. So here's the symbols we use: segment, ray, and a line. From that, when we first got started this year, we were able to look at a segment with pieces, write an equation that described the whole segment and the pieces, and then we could calculate the values that made that statement true. So let's get started. We have point R, S, and T to make up a line segment called RT. And the very first thing we could do is say the whole thing, RT, is equal to this little segment RS and this little segment ST. So we've got our equation. Now, the next step is what we call substitution, where we actually write down what each value is worth. So RT, we substitute for X. RS, we substitute 2X plus 7. And the ST, we substitute a 28. Now, from algebra, you probably recognize we have like terms, and we can actually go through and solve this. Like terms, the 7 plus the 28 will have a 35. The 2x doesn't change yet, and the 4x doesn't change. Can you see the next step? Get all the variables on one side, all the numbers on the other, so we can solve for x. Remember, in algebra, we want to keep the two sides of the equations equal. So we can actually subtract 2x from both sides, giving us 2x is equal to, that's a 0, 35. You see that? Good. Now, from this point, how do we undo the multiplication? What do we actually do? Undo a multiplication to try to get the x by itself. Nice. Undo a multiplication by dividing. We'll divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2, we'll have x. And 35 divided by 2. 35 divided by 2, we'll have 17.5. If you didn't see that, no problem. Let's just leave it 35 over 2. Now that we're given this, we can actually go through and find out what each measurement actually is. Let's do that. We'll start out with the big piece. RT originally was equal to 4x. Well, we know what x is now. 35 over 2. So 4 times 35 over 2. Be 140. over 2, which is 70. Now we'll do RS. Again, 2 times the value of x. We know x to be 35 over 2 plus 7. 70 over 2. 70 over 2. That's going to give us 35 plus 7 gives us 42. We already know ST is 28. Let's check our answer and see if we did it right. RT 70 equals RS plus our ST, which we were given at the beginning, 42 and 28, 70 equals 70. Nice. Now, there's a couple of practice problems to go with this lesson 1. You got it on your email. You can also get it in class today. Make sure that you're good at adding different segments and doing this algebra piece. One of the tools that we took from algebra was be able to put all the variables together, all the numbers together, so that we could actually solve an equation. We'll see you next time for lesson number 2.